Hello, everybody. Say, did you ever notice how many of the words of Jesus and even his actions are centered around food? Yeah, we all need to eat. Even my animals have to eat. Here's my dog Gino saying, "Hey, feed me, feed me." He's ready for his evening meal. But look across the way there. Sheep, goats, they're all over the place looking for something to eat. We all like to eat. We need to eat to survive. But there's nothing like sitting down to a big feast, right? And that's what is going to be in our lesson in church tomorrow and Sunday. That image of the king having this huge wedding feast for his son. And the only thing about it is nobody wants to come. Now, we don't know why they don't want to come. Maybe he's a bad king. Maybe they just plain don't care. Maybe they're just that way, you know. And what a shame. What a shame that is. You know, to be disrespected in that way. To see that, I mean, you are the king after all. This is your son. He's going to be the heir to the throne. Why are they being that way? So it ends up being a rather strange parable in which the people all die. Well, at least the ones that were invited. They all die. Their city is destroyed. And what you have left is, well, actually, you have some people ended up on the good end of it. They all get invited to the party. He goes out and invites everybody who's left. And they have a wonderful time. Except just one guy who ends up getting kicked out because he didn't put the proper clothes on. Again, it was a sign of disrespect. But I saw an interesting thing about this. When you look at this parable that Jesus spoke, it's actually two parables kind of squished into one. And in the second one, there might be another way to look at that gentleman who wasn't wearing the proper wedding clothes, and the reason he got kicked out. Maybe it's not so much the fact that he was disrespecting the king and the son who got married. Maybe it was an image of Jesus coming into the midst of the temple, where you had the chief priests and the Sadducees and the scribes, and they expected Jesus to come one way. Jesus came another, and what did they do? It was pretty much the same thing that had happened to the previous parable, where the son was bound up and kicked out of the vineyard and killed. Just like this person who came to the wedding banquet was bound up and kicked out and sent into, as one scripture passage says it, hell. Is this another parable that reflects on the rejection of Jesus himself? Just something to think about. Interesting way to look at it. Really, it's not a continuation of the first parable of the wedding feast. It's an additional parable, and it's kind of morphed into it, kind of combined with it, but maybe it needs to be seen separately on its own merits. Jesus once again pointing a finger at those in charge, saying, look what you've done. Look what you've done. You've rejected the God of love, rejected the one bringing that message of hope and peace and salvation. And through your own selfishness and through your own wickedness, you've rejected him. You've thrown him out. And now your life is empty because of it. Again, something to think about as we prepare for worship. How about you and me? Do we hear that message of Jesus? Do we hear God saying, here is my son, listen to him? we need to open our eyes and our ears to the good news of His love for us and open our hearts to receive it. God's blessings be with you on this day as we look ahead to tomorrow.